Okay. Good morning, guys. Welcome to Chill Time with Jose today. It'll be quite an interesting Chill Time with Jose today, mainly because the fact I'm working off one monitor. Sorry, not one monitor, two monitors. None of them have broken yet. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm Jose today. Welcome to Chill Time with Jose. Pardon. A little burp. Sorry, I've been drinking some Pepsi, so I'm going to try to keep me awake. I almost fell asleep at work today twice. I was like this. And, need some Pepsi to get me out of it. And pardon once again for my burping. So it's been pretty a busy week in CSGO. Actually, in fact, if you take a look at HLTV, it's going to be a very, very, very busy week next week. As I'll be casting the NA Flashpoint games tomorrow as well in the morning. I'll be casting some ESL 1 tonight for CIS at about 11. And, it is a very, 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 very busy schedule. And next week's even worse. Like, I can't even get any of the raids done either on the weekdays because literally at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, bam, it started right away. I think most days are 10 o'clock starts as well, 10 p.m. starts. But anyways, guys, that's CSGO for the moment. We'll also be talking about politics and sports. If you guys are here for that, please check out my next video as well. This video is going to be just purely about CSGO matters. So anyways, guys, so CSGO's been going pretty well so far. There's been a lot of qualifiers, Flashpoint qualifiers, ESA, MDL qualifiers, minor qualifiers as well. We did have a little conflict as well. Basically, one of the Flashpoint qualifiers did conflict with the minors, and a lot of teams had to pick either the minor or the Flashpoint qualifier, and some of the teams just picked the Flashpoint qualifier and went to the next minor. One of the teams, I think it was Recon 5, even had to forfeit their first game of the NA minor to participate in the Flashpoint qualifier. They meant to close qualifier, but I didn't get into the minor qualifier in the end, which is kind of sad. So we get up to our first article. 2 seconds, guys. I've got to refresh a few things to make sure everything is working, so everything is hunky-dory, because if it isn't hunky-dory, then, we're in a bit of a mess at the moment, but no, everything is indeed hunky-dory, and we're good to go. So, first thing we're going to talk about is, well, what happened today between Complexity and a few others. So, first things up is that Complexity got beaten by Smash. The Juggernaut, after they take down Astralis, lose to Na'Vi, take down Vitality. They call Alex a bit salty. They go, oh, Alex is just a bit salty, saying that, he just can't respect our strategy. Well, it turns out Alex was pretty much on the ball, As Smash took down Complexity 2-1. Basically, Mr. Jason Lake wasn't too pleased. He was like, online qualifiers, gotta love them all, He was like saying, maybe it should be an offline qualifier for the open qualifiers for ESL 1 Rio 2020. To be honest though, I'm going to say this, the EU qualifiers for the EU minor is very, 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 very competitive. And I'm not surprised that, Complexity missed out. I'm not surprised that there was teams, really, really good EU teams that missed out on the minor qualification because, the EU is packed with great teams. Not even, some teams are even in the MDL. MDL of EU is completely packed as well. There's teams that are advanced that are in the EU minor. They can easily get into MDL as well, like Copenhagen Flames, for example. And I think Skade snuck in as well. We're not terribly too sure, so let's just read the articles we hear. But yeah, so Smash did a reverse sweep on Complexity after Complexity beat Astralis and Vitality. How the mighty have fallen. They take down Vitality and Astralis, and then they fall immediately afterwards. Imagine that, guys. Imagine that. I like Complexity. Okay, Complexity had a very good week last week. They beat Astralis, got to world first, finally off Method with Complexity Limit. And then this happens. The Copenhagen Flames finish off the bracket by taking down Illuminar. And there are the teams for the EU minor, which is Fnatic, Heroic, Godsend. So this is as you can see here, it's a very, very stacked minor to begin with. Look at it. Amount of Smash and Apex, I'm going to say. Sprout, Heretics, Big, OG, Mad Lions, Nip. This is a very, very star-studded and stacked lineup. And Dignitas as well. I can't wait for, the Dignitas versus Nip lineup. When they verse each other again, a bit of a grudge match will probably ensue. Anyways, guys, what's everyone been up to today in chat? What's everyone been thinking? What's everyone thinking about the ESL Rio 2020 draw so far? Who do you guys think will qualify out of these teams here in EU? That's going to be a really, really hard one to predict which teams will qualify there because they're all quite good. It's not an easy bracket for the EU teams to qualify. I remember last time that Fnatic didn't go to the EU minor because basically Fnatic lost the close qualifiers and didn't even go to the EU minors out of that, which is, pretty massive. So we get to the next story, which is the Katowice talent, which I'm not in, by the way, just in case you guys are wondering. So the IM Katowice talent has been revealed. So it's going to be Pimp, Maniac, Sponge, and Stunner all on the desk. Great pickups, I reckon. A lot of people have been hating on Pimp. Don't see it. Pimp's a pretty good cast and pretty good analyst as well. So that's a really good analyst lineup here with Sponge, Stunner, Stunner being a very, very good desk host, by the way, I'm going to say that. And Maniac, Pimp, and Sponge, of course, Sponge being one of the best analysts I've ever picked up, I'm going to say. Then we got Henry G and Machine, and Anderson Moses, great casting duo as well. And Tom Biz and Jason Kaplan as well on the secondary stream games. It means that, I'm kind of surprised that Launders and Scrawny, seemingly they got replaced here by Tom Biz and Jason Kaplan. I'm not terribly sure. I think there's a lot of casters vying for that third spot. G'day, Mocha Man. What's up, man? I think there's a lot of casters vying for that third pairing. Like, the first two pairings definitely going to be Henry G Machine, like anyone with Henry G. And the next one's up's going to definitely be Anderson Moses regardless. So, like, I'm surprised not to see, like, Semler or anything like that there, but I think Semler, Foreign, and all of those group from Flashpoint will never ever be at an ESL event practically ever again. I think Foreign even stated that as well, that he'll never ever will never analyze a event ever again for ESL after what they did to the teams earlier. So here's the full list down here. Basically, OJ Borg will be stage host with Frankie Ward back once again. Definitely a good pick up there, Frankie Ward. She can definitely hug up the crowd as well. And, I'm very, very impressed with seeing Frankie once again back into the CS scene. So that's a full thing here. I'm not in there yet, but I reckon one day I'll probably get in there. Probably be the second round of commentators effectively. And that's what I'm trying to aim for, like a second set, maybe sneak into the first set. And that's why I said a lot earlier that your future casting will definitely be done through casting orgs, because they'll have all exclusive rights to the games in the future. And the other one will be is that trying to get to top talent with Monte Cristo and Semler both coming back into the scene will be even more difficult, because like Semler and Monte Cristo, they don't get desk host jobs. They might take casting jobs instead, or analyst jobs, because they already have the transferable skills to go from CSGO to League and whatever. And they also already have the connections, because they've already been in the industry to be able to get those goals as well. And also, like, get that training, get the extra insight, get the extra, word in from, like, Foreign, for example. Like, oh, this guy's a really good analyst. Oh, yeah, this guy's a really good caster. And whatever. And, Monty wants to focus on Project A later this year. Okay, because he wanted to come back to CSGO, Mocha. That's why I talk about it, and that's why it's a big issue for casters here. I've said this multiple times, that with Semler, Monte Cristo, and a lot of guys from the Overwatch scene who were in the CSGO scene coming back, it's got to make it a bit harder for casters. But that means, casters got to keep the hype up, build up the pressure and stuff like that. The Australian scene, I'll tell you now, for casting is very, very chock-a-block. Like, I'm going to tell you now, they've already got the 4 casters for ESL qualifiers. I can just guarantee you guys that now. They've definitely got the 4 casters already, I reckon. Because it's going to be, I'm going to say it's going to be Mac, Conky, Elvish Guy, and probably Maniac. Okay, Maniac Monday, and that's it. I think I got his name wrong. No, it's Manic Monday, that's right. That's gonna be the 4 commentators for the qualifiers. And, trying to break out of those 4, trying to get ESL to take a chance, is probably going to have to result either Mac or one of those guys quitting, because, to try and break into the ESL lock in Australia is a lot harder than it actually is. Yeah, I don't know what in capacity. He tweeted about 2 decades. Monty's immense. Yeah, Monty's a very good caster. That's why I'm talking about, the chances are reduced of going into a caster role when you got these tier 1 casters coming back from other games, and that's what I refer to that as well. I didn't want to have a big... actually, I should talk about this as well. Another thing as well that casters, especially rookie casters as well, is another one is the Flashpoint stuff. So in Flashpoint, basically there was 1 Go TV per person, and this is where I got pretty upset. You guys may have noticed that I got upset twice about it. Is that some casters were literally waiting for games to finish by using the scoreboard so they could cast a bigger team for views. One of the guys, the casters were sniping off multiple people. By the way, it wasn't just me. I'm just the only one who got done twice. That basically what happened was I was casting a game for the winner of the Vanguard game, so I'd cast a Vanguard. So I tweeted at Vanguard saying, cast their game afterwards, because, after this, after the win of these 2, I'll go cast it. So what happened was literally Vanguard was like, okay, let's go a whole game live afterwards. And then literally one person, as the game finished, the game just finished, on my Go TV's 2-minute delayed, the person had already requested for the Vanguard game. Did not DM me at all whether he could take it off me or not, because he knew I was casting the winner of that game. And that's what casters got to stop, these rookie casters. You don't want to go in snaking games without asking the other person, okay? And basically, if you're going to go cast a game with another caster, competing, But if you're going for practice, say you're going in practice. That's what I always say. I say I'm not going in there to get views. I'm just going in there to get practice as a caster, not as a person who wants to get all the views on the channel. That's why I cast. I don't cast to get 20 million viewers. I don't care if I have 20 million or 100 viewers. I just care if chat's active, giving me questions and stuff to answer and stuff like that. And that's what I love about casting. That's what I want to do. I want to be a caster, that communicates to the community and stuff like that. Because it's kind of boring just having a conversation with yourself over and over and over again. You want to get chat involved. So chat feels, they feel involved, the caster as well. I know there's, drawbacks and stuff like that, especially guys, being weird and stuff like that. I can understand it. But that's what my main goal is. And snaking stuff like that off other casters is probably not on. And I got it done twice on a Vanguard as well. One of them was I'd casted the 2 Vanguard games before, and the same person literally, when a Vanguard won match point, asked for the IP for the next game. And it's got to stop. Like, it is getting ridiculous how casters are literally throwing each other under the bus to get the big view games. And what I did differently, I was talking to Wardell, which is the AWPer for August, because basically what happened, I'm turning around my lights, by the way. Basically what happened is that Wardell had no idea who was casting their games. So basically I was like, okay, I'll do it. Basically I checked with other casters. I'm like, are you casting this? I think it was Canadian Air. I asked him. He was like, no, I'm not casting that. We'll be casting a different team. I'm contract this team, blah, blah, blah. And then I found out that Flippy Bits, GG, was casting the game before it. Okay? So August was about to, the next game, the winner of Flippy Bits game was going to be playing August. So I DM'd Flippy Bits, and I'm like, okay, man, August want me to cast this game, the next game, which is the winner's one. So I DM'd him that. I'm like, I talked to Wardell about this. Can I take this game? And he's like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, you do know that the winner of your game is going to face August, okay? That's why I don't want to take it off, that's why I'm asking you, because I don't want to take it off of you, when you want to cast, August, basically, if you want to cast, you get what I mean? I'm trying to be good-mannered, okay? I'm being good-mannered to this person. I'm being like, I want to cast August. I asked Wardell, are you okay with it? Because I don't want to be a person that just randomly does it out of nowhere, and the guy could have wanted to cast August the entire time. If you get what I mean? I don't want to be that kind of snaky person like that. If you guys do understand that. So I did. So I'm revealing DMs here. I feel like will be happy with that as well. And he said, yeah, go ahead. I understand why you ask. He didn't say why I understand why you ask him. Go ahead, go cast the August game. So I did. And the reason why I was only casting the August game is because Wardell, was asking me. Leaked DM starts. It's nothing juicy in there. It's just a casual, how you doing, Smoke Up. I know you're being a bit dramatic, I know. But that's pretty much it. That's what the ideal situation should be, is that if casters want a game where there's only one person who can cast a game, just DM each other. Okay, just DM each other. Don't do this shit where you're waiting at a scoreboard when the team wins. You immediately ask for the IP, knowing that the person with the Go TV is 2 minutes behind. I just don't think it's on, and that's my opinion as a caster. Just don't do that as a caster. If you come into the cast profession, don't do that sort of shit, because people aren't going to respect you if you do. And I already don't respect this person anymore because they've done it twice to me. Anyways, next things up. Let's just go to the next one, which is, this one is pretty big given the coronavirus. So basically, Vici can't get to IM Katowice, so they've had to take in Tyloo, which is kind of interesting. But you see, you're going, hey, Tyloo's a Chinese team. Why are they coming instead of Vici? Well, the big thing is that Tyloo is not in China at the moment. So that's why they brought Tyloo in instead. Because Tyloo's not in China, they're in the Ukraine. So everyone was like, okay, where the hell is I thought Tyloo would be in China, but they're in Ukraine at the moment. They never got back to China. Basically, they were going to fly back to China after that boot camp. But in the end, of course, they couldn't fly back to China due to the coronavirus. So I guess Vici's being swapped for Tyloo. I don't see this as being any consequence in the main scheme of things, to be completely honest. I think Vici or Tyloo are going to get knocked out first round of Katowice. And talking about Katowice, that's going to be on next week as well. And I'll talk about that next week as a preview. And both Renegades and, 100 Thieves are both in that. So I don't think this will change anything at all. So next up, we're going to go here is to the Flashpoint qualifiers. So close class. This is on tomorrow. And just check out all of this stuff. So Europe will have twice as many teams. Look at that. Look how many Europe teams are invited. Look at that lineup. Holy gamoly. Who do you think's going to win all this? This is the worst part, is one of the teams that didn't get in here, which was Forza, but Forza ended up not going in the end. didn't qualify. But like, look at this, like all these teams, like Nexus. Like I can tell you now, Nexus. I know their social media manager as well. It's just insane. Like look at all those teams. There's 32 teams here. So like I'm gonna say like I reckon Big will take one of these qualifier spots, and I'm gonna go with a sneaky feeling the game at Youngsters will take one as well. Like there's a lot of spots here. Like you have no idea who's gonna go through because all of these teams can beat each other on any given day. And like you can tell, some teams are gonna be out pretty easily, like not strong enough for the other teams in here. But look at the teams. You got Big, Hellraisers, Hafu, Heretics, the Riders, the Flames, Skade, who are playing quite well, Gamer Legion, Spirit, Prosto, the game at Youngsters, Secret with a Flat Roof, he does play well. It's like you got a lot of teams there that very very dominant teams. Illuminar as well actually, but except Illuminar made a big mistake. I have no idea. Let's just talk about Illuminar. Illuminar made 2 roster moves to bench, I believe it was Stomp and Oscarish. And I have no idea why they benched either of those 2 players. They played amazing against, Illuminar won so convincingly against Whistler Cacao, and they do this. And it's kind of confusing. But anyway, let's get to the NA qualifiers. Flashpoint begins at 6 hours. Yes, I'm aware of that for EU. Flashpoint begins at 1 a.m. for the EU qualifiers. And I'll be casting 8 a.m. starting with Recon 5 here. So I'll be casting all the Recon 5 qualifiers as much as I can because I do enjoy watching Recon 5 play, as you guys may have watched on the ESL 1 Rio 2020 qualifier, as I was just, loving these guys basically. So I'll be casting those. And there's also the South American division as well. So here's the closed qualifier and the global qualifier as well. So basically, if you make it against top 2 of the closed qualifier, you go to the global qualifier, and the top 2 winners of that will get to enter the Flashpoint, series with the founding teams and stuff like that. And basically, Flashpoint will be holding qualifiers for the next 3 days. So there's going to be a double elimination. So basically, going to be 2 rounds per day, I think it is. So it's going to be both upper bracket, upper bracket 1, upper bracket 2, and and lower bracket 1 being played tomorrow for me. And the next one's going to be upper bracket 3, upper bracket 4, lower bracket 2, lower bracket 3. And it's going to keep going into that until it ends. Basically, the winner of the upper bracket will go through, and the winner of the consolidation final will go through. There's only 2 spots for each area. So here's another bit of player news as well as the AGO bench MHL. So everyone was thinking that everyone's like, what the hell is going on? They benched their best player. So what's happened is I reached out to some of my Polish contacts that I know of, and a lot of people said that MHL was only being benched because of himself. Like MHL has a bit of an issue with Lemon being in the team, but it's nothing to do with that. Like, people suspected it was the Lemon issue, but it's the issue that MHL is currently studying at the moment for his finals, and he's taking a bench position at the moment to just hone up on his studies. That's what I got from all my Polish sources, is that there was no drama whatsoever with Lemon, as previously announced, like ages ago. It's just that MHL, he's going to be focusing on the studies. Apparently he's lagging behind the studies, and AJ decided to bench him to make sure he gets back on track, essentially. Next up is, well, of course, IEM will no longer be in Sydney. It'll be in Melbourne. It'll be at the Rod Laver Arena, and basically I'll be going to this event as well. I purchased my tickets today. Tickets went up on sale on the 14th, Valentine's Day, and I'll be going to the Melbourne Esports Open and IEM Melbourne. So I'm not sure if I'll be talent there or not. It's probably unlikely I'll be talent because they'll get the 4 stalwart Aussie casters, Mac, Elvish Guy, Conky, and a few others as well. Maybe I don't think Conky's actually a certainty as well, and Manic Monday as well. They already have those 4 Australian casters lined up, and they will have backup Australian casters as well. And I'm not sure I'm in there yet, given that with the next biggest caster for ESEA, I didn't make it to the finals there either. I don't think I really put my best foot forward in that regard, but I'll try next year as well to highlight some of my MDL clips and stuff like that and send it in for NBC. Alright, I'm not sure how much of a chance I'd have at NBC, to be honest. What do you guys think of my casting? Would I have a chance at being the next big caster and casting at a LAN event? What do you guys think? Because I'm looking at the casters there. There's SCJ, Upmind, there's Komodo once again, there's Heartbreaker. Who else is the other ones? I'm trying to figure out the other ones as well. And they're gonna be there basically. And I'm not sure if I'll get in top 2 either. I'm actually a bit surprised. Oh no, JTR and Wolfie did qualify. That's right, JTR and Wolfie did go through and become ESA members as well. I actually got to say that as well. ESA members was Wolfie and JTR did go through. So they're casting on the ESA channel now, which is massive. So basically, it'll be ESL's first venture into Melbourne. Basically, be at Rod Laver Arena. compared to having it at Kodo's Bank Arena in Western Sydney. And yeah, pretty much it's going to be 16 teams, 250k prize pool. It's going to be part of the Melbourne Esports Open as well. Just in case you guys don't know, there's a Melbourne Esports Open as well as a CSGO event. So it's going to be multiple esports like Rocket League and various shit like that, basically. So it's a big thing here. ESL, let's see what's happening here. Oh, okay. So apparently ESL Melbourne will be, or IM Melbourne will be the direct invite to the, as we read the article, to the next major, which will be massive. The fall major, which will be massive for the teams wanting to participate in this event. So I've got the tickets already. As you said, it's 10 a.m. ETT. Already got it in the back pocket. And, well, that's pretty much it for the CSGO news, the major news that happened this week. Now we're going to go to the next part, which is the MDL results so far. So we've got week 1 underway so far. We're going to go through the last part of week 1, just between the Riders and Game Illusion. And Dennis being the main source of, pain here for the Movistar Riders, as Dennis effectively carried his team, carried the flag for his team. Dennis had 110 ADR, while the rest of his team had about 70, 80 ADR in their win 16-13. And then Unicorns of Love scored their first win against AGO, and that's a big upset. AGO will not be happy about that. Unicorns of Love have been struggling, as you see here, 16-5 to Demolition Crew, 16-4 to the Riders. Unicorns have been getting absolutely thrashed everywhere, and that's a big win here. So go to week 2, Hafu for Demolition Crew, which I did cast, and Hafu got a scare early. They were down 8-0 and came back 8-7 for the half, and then won the game. Then we had the Wizard Cacao beat the Riders, which I did cast, and Wizard Cacao won 16-11, which I was pretty stoked for. And Namiga took care of the Unicorns of Love 16-14, and the Unicorns are actually looking a lot decent against Namiga as well. Then the next game I casted was Namiga beat Big. Big won 16-13, but Namiga gave them a goddamn hell of a fight. Everyone was expecting Namiga not to even hit double figures. They were effectively, expecting to get completely destroyed. And, this was a really, really close game, as you see here. Namiga, though, they just choked it on an eco. They basically were versing an eco and they lost to it, and they lost the game. Hellraisers came in with an absolute force, you see here. Hellraisers were up 10-1 against Nordovin at one stage, and they just hung on here, just clutched on. And against the Riders, they were so dominant. Basically, I think it was a 10-5 half, and the Riders won the pistol round and the round afterwards, and after that was just all Hellraisers. The next set of games, which was yesterday, I did cast the Riders v Namiga. Namiga were very, very disappointing. They were pretty bad, and Box had the worst game of his career, I'd want to say right now. Nordovin v Singularity, the Danish derby once again. The full old Danes of Singularity take on Nordovin. And Nordovin were able to eke out a win there. Nordovin were behind. They were down 13-11 and came back and won 16-13, which is pretty good. Now we get to the NA MDL. And, well, we had the first game between Rugrats and the Anime Aimers, but then we had no other games because the ESL 1 Rio 2020 qualifiers were going on. Then we had the first week. We had Mythic. We had a big overtime game between Mythic and Monstars, 28-25. Monster game, indeed. Wink, wink. And then we had Mythic v E United. This is a big upset. E United just looking absolutely shonkers at the moment. People who watched that game, because I didn't get to watch it, were saying that E United just looked directionless. And they didn't look very good at all, as Mythic just had their way with them. Riot Squad once again took down Rugrats. Unfortunately for Riot Squad, they were released by Riot Squad just after they won that game 16-12. As a big win, given that Rugrats are a pretty decent team, I'm going to say. They do have a decent lineup with Penny, Leaf, Xander, and a few others as well. So next up is Station 7 vs Monstars, and Station 7 were able to win here. Then the next day came around and they were 16-0, the first 16-0 of the season by Steel's team. And then today, Big Frames defeated Livid. Livid were up 8-7 at the half, and Big Frames won 9 rounds in a row, I believe. Yes, they did. 9 rounds in a row to win 16-8. And I was watching that game, and I was going, oh man, Livid, they're winning 8-7 half. They can't possibly lose it now. And so they did. Next up in the AU MDL. So back to week 5 here. So unfortunately, as I said before, Trident could not upset Order. Basically, Valiant clinched that point with a 4 dig and an AK 1 tap, which you can see clips from various areas here. And it was just magnificent to watch. Incept lost to Chiefs 12-16. This was a very, very close game. Very, very close game on Inferno. And Chiefs CT side really kept it into this, having a 10-5 half. SKF got absolutely dominated by Fury. Fury 12 T-side overpass rounds. And Mizzy from Skyfire wasn't firing, and Mizzy was the reason why they won the last map, Skyfire, on Overpass. And then we have a forfeit. Rock Candy, once again, having a bit of a forfeit bug. They forfeited 3 times this season. I'm not sure if anything's going to happen to them. Trident defeated Rock Candy 16-3. Completely expected because Trident's a much better team. Next up, we got the Gate Day after it's a 4-1-9 defeat Esper. SKF, Skyfire takes down Airborne in a very close affair. And there's just a lot of, one-sided affairs here. Paradox completely dismantled Esper in both, games. Then the games after that was a bit one-sided as well, minus the Trident MC game. Chiefs dismantled Paradox, Order 16-2, Formidable 16-1, 16-6. Fury didn't even look in this game, by the way, as I casted that. They didn't look in this game at all. They were down, I think, 13-2 at one point. Yeah, they were down 13-2. And they got a few CT side rounds together, and that's about it. Then Trident upset MC once again. I told Verz, I'm like, you got to upset these teams. And Verza upset MC indeed, and Chiefs completely demolished Ground Zero. And that's a wrap for the MDL results, this week. Basically, so far the ladder, we'll show the ladders next time of, which teams go where for the Australian scene. Upcoming games, we've got Advance versus Formidable, Avant versus Malak Wizards, and Malak Wizards versus Order. This will probably be these 2 games will probably be the big games of the competition here. Because basically, Malak Wizards versus Avant, top 2 teams versus each other probably. And same here, probably the top, it's probably going to be the battle for top spot potentially as well, with Chiefs being involved as well. Could be the battle for the top spot, and hopefully, I'm hoping Malak Wizards do win so they can upset the Rhythm at the top. But I don't think they will in the end. So guys, before we go around to the last part of the CSGO show, we're going to show off a vid from the 2 seconds from the Namiga game. So this was actually, you guys should actually take a look at this. This was actually a really, really good strat by Namiga. So I highlighted it so we could take a look at it. But watch this. You guys should just watch this, okay? So we got it up here. Interesting. But everything's all fitted in. Okay, cool. I have no idea why there's a black bar to the left, to be honest. It's full screen on my screen, but apparently here it's not full screen. Maybe because of the resolution. But anyway, let's go. As I was pretty decent. So I've gone with 4 players. 2 seconds. We're up to quality while we're here. Yeah, it's at 480. Okay, let's just do it at source. There we go. It's a lot of smokes and molotovs. And the being identified as given that they saw flashes, frag grenades, molotovs being thrown. I'll just mute myself so you guys can hear the the game coming in. But yeah, pretty much decent round banana for Namiga here. And there's a 4-person stack. I'll point out the map to you guys. There's a 4-person stack here from Big. There's 1 person here on Speedway, 1 person here at CT, 1 person at Coffers, which is Tabson, and a player at First Box on the angle, okay? And you guys got to see how Namiga dismantled this. And, basically deny access from CT here. So we'll go through again. So here we go. So basically, Namiga are about to enter the site. Flashbangs going in, smokes going in as well. And just watch how Jayo plays here. Watch Jayo play here. You see Jayo, he's already heading for construction. He just doesn't care. He just feels that Big are playing a 4-man stack. Because the previous round, when Namiga did win the round, Namiga pushed Banana and got rid of the 2 defenders. So basically, Big are a bit panicking here, and they're like, okay, we'll put 4 people onto B. And just watch this. Jayo takes care of the player from the smoke, which is Tizian. He'll drop. And, basically, as you see here now, basically you see here for Keto and Tabson, they're completely surrounded. There's 2 players in construction here. They can't do anything about it. 2 players in construction. 1 player at Fountain. And the Molotov just got thrown at Keto, and Keto's been forced out of New Box, so he's out in the open. And, look at how good the counter-strat is from Namiga. The player here that was the 4th player in the stack on B can't peek anymore because Jayo's got full control of construction. Look at that counter-strat. Basically nullifying that 4-man stack and isolating these 2 defenders on site. And we'll just, the round will continue here. So Keto will be out in the open. He'll be spotted off. He'll be taken down. Tabson gets down box, but Lollipop gets Keto in the open. And Jayo takes down Tabson from construction, but he's traded out by Xantares. So Xantares being the 4th person rotating across, he can only intervene when Lollipops was already putting the buttons. He took down Jayo on the trade. So you see this take is just magnificent. Magnificent take. And Big just can't do anything about it. Look at Xantares, for example. He's in a passive position at construction. He can't do much about this. And eventually you'll see Sirison go down to speed with the Krieg here. And just look at this. What a superstar take from Namiga. And MDS will probably secure this as you see me hit Auto Director once again. And Lollipops to the AK. Denies the save from Xantares. And just look at that kind of play. You guys see the most important parts of that play was Jo going right up the middle. Like this point here, when Jo went up the middle, got the opening frag on Tizian, that's when the play happened here. That's when the play effectively happened, was this frag here. And that isolated Xantares, who's here, he couldn't do anything. Xantares is just like, oh, I don't know if Jo is holding that CT angle or not from construction or tree. So I can't exactly peek just in case Jo clips me too. And then my B defenders are all by alone, so they have no information on outers. And that's what the main play was there. And I feel like this play should really, really be highlighted because Namiga had an amazing strategy there. Like an absolutely amazing strategy to just lock and block out Big from being able to retake that side. And also just completely threw a wrench in their plans to stack B. Because the two guys who were stacking B, one of them died and one of them was a CT because they couldn't do anything. So they peeked out. They could have been peeking to AWP from speed, for example. And that was just a wonderful play to see there. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the CSGO today. We're going to be up next with the sports and politics discussion. So if you guys enjoyed the, as I close down all the CSGO stuff, if you guys enjoyed the stream, or not stream, so if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe below. If you want to see this live, you can see this live on Twitch. You can also check the details below as well. And you can also follow me on Twitter and Discord to get an idea of when I'll be going live with the Chill Time with Jose segment. Anyways, guys, ta-ta for now. If you guys are watching the stream, we'll be continuing, obviously. If you're not, if you're the YouTube guys, we'll be going for now. See you guys later. Peace out.